Well, good morning folks, and welcome to this week's video. And in this week's video I'm in the same place as I was in the previous video, or the one before that. I can't remember which one it was now, but as you can see from the mess, you've got to excuse the mess in the back of my car, but I've actually got the 4x5 today hidden away in this bag. I've actually got it because this afternoon I've got an idea for a shot of a really old petrol station that's not being used anymore, but it's just been beautifully preserved in this little village. I drove past it yesterday and I thought, yes, that is going to make a nice 6x17 shot. So that's why I've got it with me. So that was for later on. But as I was sort of driving to my shoot this morning, which is some drone work for a client, I'm nice and early, but I have noticed that there is all this mist. I've been driving through all this mist on the way down to sort of the Bournemouth area. And yeah, I just was coming over the road, sort of the main road, just as you drive past this tree-lined avenue, and I could see all the mist here, and I was really hoping that there'll be loads and loads of mist in the bottom of this. But I'm still going to take this shot. I'm going to take it on 6x17. I've just been out and had a look for the viewfinder app, and it does look really nice. And I just love the mist in the background on either side, and then just the tree-lined avenue. And I think that sort of that dullness in the air due to the mist and everything, and I think there is a little bit of mist there just down at the bottom. It's not completely clear, but I think the mist just adds to the sort of trees and the green. I just really like that. Although what I'm going to do is shoot it on black and white in 6x17, and we'll see how it comes out. So yeah, I'm going to get set up. Okay, so we've got our spot, and some of you might have noticed I am using my crappy travel tripod, which is flimsy as hell. It is a Manfrotto one, which was a decent make. It's just it's not a great tripod, but I've actually left my big hefty tripod at home, so I'm going to have to make do. We've got what I've got, and hopefully I can get the camera on top of that. Thankfully there's no wind whatsoever. It's completely still today, so we're not going to have to deal with camera shake. So yeah, I'm hoping that will do the job for what we need. So let's get set up. Right then folks, so you welcome me from underneath the dark cloth again. Just wanted to show you what I'm sort of looking at on the back of the screen. So if I just turn this around, you can see there, hopefully you can see that all right. You can probably see the screen in this as well, but yeah, you can see that I've basically gone for the obvious choice, which is the road straight down the middle and all the trees equally on either side. And then we've got a little bit of sort of field off to either side, and a bit of that mist that's still hanging around, although it is getting sort of less and less as we go. So yeah, it's been a while since I've used my my 6x17 back, and really excited to be using it again, and I've forgotten how much I actually love using it. So film today is this, I've never shot this before, JC, I don't know if it's a H or what that is, JCH possibly, or yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyway, it's Street Pan 400 black and white film. So we're going to shoot this and see what it's like. I've never shot it before. Thought I'd give it a go. Something a bit different in it. So we'll see what we can capture from this. But I've rated it at 400. I have done some metering of the scene already. If I just stand up. So I've done some metering of the scene already. What I've done is I've metered the road and the trees being the darkest bit, and then the sky obviously over there being the lightest bit. So we're sort of anywhere between 14 and 2/3 and sort of F10. So what I've put as sort of a mid-tone is sort of EV11, which has given me, if I say I went at F16, it's 30th per second. F22 is obviously 15th per second. So I think I'm going to try them two shots and see what we get. And then I'll see if I can get a dog walker coming up the hill, or just somebody like that, a cyclist or somebody, for a couple of shots as well. So yeah, let's get all this dialed in and get on with it. Right, so it's time to set these settings in. As you can see on here, hopefully we'll start with F22, 15th per second, and that's the view we're looking at. Right, make sure that the blades are closed. But like I keep saying, if you don't, it's got a habit of spoiling your day. Let's take this down to F15, or F22 I should say, 15th of a second. I'll just do a bit of a test fire. As you can see, this is wobbling around like mad. It's not ideal, this tripod, at all, but that's sort of all I've got, so I've got to work with it. So, right, I'm going to get this back off, get the other one on, and then get this shot taken. Dark slide is out. I've actually got some sunlight now, look, which is ideal. So just got to make sure that this isn't wobbling whatsoever. First shot taken, as easy as that really. Let's put the slide back in. Oh, it's like learning to ride a bike, isn't it? Right, here we go. If I can actually get this in, that is. Come on, you bugger. Right, I'll just show you what the back of the film looks like when you're winding on. So you've got the numbers, obviously. We're looking for frame 3. Like I say, on the back of this, you'll see that you get 4 exposures, 120 film, 6x17 is you're looking for frame 1, 3, 5 and 7. And what you get is these little circles that get bigger and bigger. When you get the biggest one, you'll then see the next frame number. That's when you stop. But obviously we're looking for 3, so we just keep winding on until, so you get the small circle, you get the next one up, the bigger one, and then you get a 3. So then you're on, you're ready to take the next shot. So yeah, I might just meter again because we have got a bit of sunlight now. I'm sure that the settings will probably be okay with what I've gone with, but I'll have a look. And yeah, we're back in a second. Right, so settings are going to be, I'm going to leave them the same. So I'm going to set this now on F16, 30th of a second. Just do a test shot. I mean, as you can see, this camera's just shaking around like mad because of this tripod. It's not ideal. Yeah, that's all fine. I certainly won't want to do a long exposure on this anyway. It's just a nightmare getting the dark slide out as well without moving the camera, and then the weight of the of this on the back is not ideal. So that is definitely a tip. I would say a cheap lightweight tripod is no good for 4x5, especially with the 6x17 back on. It's just way too light. I mean, obviously the camera's light as well, so all the weight at the moment is pretty much on the back of this camera, which is pulling it back, and the tripod is not able to cope with that strain of being pulled back. So it's a bit of a nightmare, but anyway, we'll get on with it. So let's get this dark slide out and get this shot taken. Right, here we go then. Yet again, dark slide out. Everything has stopped shaking. Let's get on and take this shot. Just wait for the cars to get out of the way in the distance. Here we go. It's as easy as that, he says. I just wish that I'd remembered to check. I always carry the tripod in the boot, and of course I took it out the boot, so we went out somewhere as a family this weekend in my car. So and I didn't take the tripod. It's just a big old lump in the boot. So I took everything out, put it in the car, and I forgot to go and put it back in. So that's a lesson for the future, is to make sure that I've got my tripod next time I come out. But anyway, right, I'm going to put the dark side back in now because I need 2 hands to do this. And yeah, I'll hang around now and just see if I can get somebody sort of cycling up. I just had someone cycle up the road. He come from the bottom, he cycled up here just past me, music blaring on his bike, just on his own, happy as Larry he was. So hopefully we get somebody else cycling up the hill as well, or somebody else walking with a dog or something like that, just to give a bit of focal point in the image. Just that introduction of somebody. I don't want a car unless it's a real fancy car. Yeah, just a person walking a dog or something like that would just complete this scene, I think. So yeah, I'll just hang around and see what I can see what comes along. Hi there folks, just me. Just want to take an eensy-weensy amount of your time just out of the video, which we'll get back to in a minute, just to mention my affiliate link that takes you to DJI's website. If you get something from their website, one of their fantastic products, and I get a little bit of a kickback, which I can reinvest into the channel, into my photography, into my videography, and you get yourselves a fantastic product. For you guys who don't know DJI, and there's not going to be many people out there who don't know DJI, they make drones, they make action cameras, they make stabilizers, they make gimbals, they make cinema cameras, they make bits for your cinema rig, they make power banks, they make mics, they make all sorts of stuff that all seems to work fantastically well. And I have been a fanboy for many years. So yeah, if you want to support the channel and you're looking to get a fantastic product from DJI, then please use the link below. It helped me out massively and I really appreciate it. So anyway, back to the video. Right, I'll just show you this again while I'm doing it. So going on to frame 5 now. So there's your circles. This will be frame 4 coming up. There's your number. So if you wanted 4, you'd stop. So if you're doing 6x12, you see you get 6 exposures, 120 film. What you'd be looking for is numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. If you're doing 6x14, it's 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15. But like I say, I always shoot 6x17. That's my favourite medium. So I'm always just looking for 1, 3, 5 and 7. So I'm going to roll on to 5. So there's your number, there's your circles, big circle, number, that's it. Shut the little hatch and you're ready to go. I will just say as well, while I'm stood here waiting for someone to come along, that I have actually just put a little bit of shift on the lens. So if you see these sort of marks, or not marks, but these points in the bottom of the lens bit here, you'll see that usually them two would be just sit either side of this wood block here. That would mean that you're centered, but as you can see, I've shifted it just this way slightly, and the reason for that is, as you can see from where I'm stood right now, I'm not in the center of the road. You know, center of the road would probably be about here, whereby my camera's here. So obviously I don't want to stand here because clearly I'll be stood in the middle of the road, and that's not what I want. So what I've done is the camera is off to one side so cars can still pass me. I'm sort of protected by my own car, which is just behind me. And I've just put that little bit of shift in the lens this way. So as you can see from the top here, you can see that that's just shifted to the right slightly, and then that just moves the image plane just across that slight bit, so it makes it look like I'm actually stood in the middle of the road when I'm not. And it is one of those bonuses, having like a tilt and shift lens. If you've got one of those for your digital camera or even film camera, you know, tilt and shift lenses do a similar thing. But it is one of those things about a 4x5, is you've got that control to be able to move, you know, the plane of focus or the plane of you know, the actual image plane or whatever. You've got that to play with. And obviously what you do have, because someone asked this question some weeks ago, just about, you know, how this works. So obviously, you know, for those of you who don't know, what happens is your image circle, as they call it, when the light comes through and it's projecting through the bellows onto the film behind, obviously the image is going through the blades and then it's opening up into a big circle. So on the back of the camera, obviously you can't see it, there'll be a big circle like that, which is the image circle. So you've got all this image up here and all this image down here, which is not being captured. All you're doing is capturing a strip in the middle of the big circle that's going behind. Now, different lenses have different image circles, and there is a chart which I'll put in the link below. I think it's actually in my description below, but you'll notice that on that chart it will give you the image circle, and basically that's how wide the image circle is on the back. Now, what you do find sometimes on my 135mm lens, because it doesn't really work, it does work, but in some cases it's just not quite, you know, you have to bring it back so much that the image circles, obviously the more the bellows come back, the smaller that image circle is going to get. So what you find is with the 135mm lens, because I've got no sort of lens board that would project it further away from the actual film plane. What I find is the closer it gets, obviously, to the back of the camera, then sometimes I get a little bit of sort of fuzzy edges to my images, and I have to just crop them slightly. It's only literally just a tiny bit on either side, but that's because the actual what the film is capturing is off of the lens image circle. So that's what that's the only issue then. That's why I would always say that if you're going to get one of these backs for your Intrepid, is a 150mm lens up to about, you could probably get away with 350mm lens, but I think they recommend 150 to 300 as a lens sort of range is ideal to go for, because then you're making sure that, you know, what you're capturing is within the image circle of the lens itself. So yeah, so that's what I would say about that. But check the chart below anyway if you're looking to get one, and then it will give you the image circle that you're looking for you know, depending on the lens. I've got Fuji lenses, so I've got the 135 Fuji, the 180, the 90 and the 250, and obviously the 90 doesn't work at all. The 135 works really well, but in certain situations doesn't. The 180 works really well and the 250 works really well as well. So yeah, so that's all I'd say about that. But yeah, just waiting for my person to walk up the road. So I have decided, after sitting here for probably an hour and a half, that on a Friday nobody walks their dogs in the little village down the bottom there, or rides their bike up the hill, apart from the guy earlier. I'll exception for him. So without a unsuspecting model, or indeed an actual model that I can send down the lane to get some shots with their dogs, I'm going to have to settle for some nice light coming through the trees. So I've just been sort of sat watching this scene for quite a while now, and every so often you just get some light come down, obviously hitting the trees and just casting a nice little shadow onto the road. So I think I'm going to go with that. I have remetered, so what I've done is I pushed everything up a stop, so F22 now is 30th a second, and then F16 is 60th of a second. Just because it's getting that little bit brighter now, you can see there's right down the bottom there's quite a lot of sunlight, just waiting for it really just to pass through here, and just dabbled light on the field around as well. Looks quite nice as well. So yeah, I've got the dark side out, just ready to go. So I'm set at F22, 30th a second, nice easy one. What I'm finding, again, just coming onto the tripod situation, I definitely would recommend, on a sensible note, if you're going to get a 4x5, even if you're just going to shoot in its standard native 4x5 without, you know, a back like this on it or any other sort of back, definitely get a decent tripod. Do not skimp on the tripod. I cannot stress that enough, because that will absolutely ruin your day. What I found, I mean, obviously I haven't seen the shots yet. You would have seen the first two. I may have to crop them. So what's happening is when I'm pulling the dark side out, I'm actually pulling the camera across as well. So when I, just while I was waiting, I actually just sort of put the other back on again, so the sort of focusing back, and just had a look through there, and I could see that the camera shifted off its center again where I've just pulled the dark side out, and also the weight of this on the back is just pulling the camera back slightly as well. So I just checked focus, and I've sort of done the best I can with it. I'm hoping that that it comes out okay. But yeah, just please, whatever you do, get yourself a decent tripod. Do not skimp on the tripod, because it is important. Yes, I know it's a hefty lump, and I know sometimes spending a lot of money on a tripod seems like absolutely ridiculous, but if you're going to shoot 4x5, please get yourself a decent tripod, because otherwise you're going to have a horrible time. Right, I think there's some sun coming, so let's get on and shoot. Right, that's the third shot of the day taken. Let's get the dark slide back in, roll on to the last one, and get that shot as well. So, and then that'll be it from this location. Right, I should just say there, folks, I actually changed the shutter speed to 60th a second, and I went down to F16 for that last one. So, yeah. Quite nice now with the light sort of coming in from the side. Like I said, I would have liked that dog walker coming up the hill, or maybe, you know, a couple of people on the bike and stuff like that. So when I photographed the tree over there, I had all of that and didn't photograph it. I photographed the tree, but now I want to photograph this. I've not had any of it. But hey, it's what it is, isn't it? Well, right then, folks, from this beautiful location, this beautiful tree-lined avenue with the sun coming in from the side now, and my lovely tree over there. It's goodbye from me and this location. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel is always hugely appreciated. Please leave a comment below, and yeah, obviously you've seen the images, I haven't. Fingers crossed they come out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.